Welcome everyone. It is Friday, the end of the week, and it is the 6th of November 2020. Hope everybody is healthy and hope everybody's happy. We are going to, as the title implies, passion or prison. We're going to talk about people's motivations and why or why not they may or may not continue to train and to go at it hard. We'll be right back and we'll get right into that after a few more topics. Welcome back everyone. My name is Perry Larrabee. This is The Way It Is Naturally. I am the CEO of Bullfish Training, and we are going to talk about people's motivations and whether they're doing this, they're training or they're, rediscovering themselves, whatever, out of passion, or whether it's, something that's just dragging themselves down. It's basically a drudgery in their life. So that's how I came about the topic, and I came about that basically after watching a lot of, basically after all these years of training and training people, as well as lately, looking in the Facebook groups and listening to people. Some people are super motivated, they seem to be always up and, they can't wait to get in there and train again, which is the way I've always been over my 43 years. And there's other people that you can tell that this isn't, they'd rather be doing anything else but. So we're going to talk about that a little in depth. First of all, if you could please like and subscribe to this channel. Remember, you're supporting natural fitness and natural training. Of course, this is how I make my living, but, I've been a proponent of natural training my whole life. I've been in this game for 43 years, and it is my passion. And I hope you'll join me in my passion. And not just me, anybody else that's basically supporting the natural movement. If you don't get support, it can't grow. It's that simple. And there's so many, literally hundreds and thousands, millions of people that are getting on the fitness bandwagon and the training and the bodybuilding bandwagon. There's no reason for the natural segment of that not to be just growing exponentially. But we need your support. So if you could like and subscribe and visit my channel, that would be just wonderful. You can also get a hold of me on Facebook, as well as Instagram and Twitter as well, all under Bullfish Training. Anyways, what else? How about a couple more updates? Things are coming along good. For people that don't know, I actually have three companies. One is Bullfish Training, which is my personal training company. I also have Bullfish Media, which basically puts on this show, as well as we're starting to develop a system where we do mini documentaries for people. Be it whether your journey or maybe you're getting ready for your first show. If that's something that interests you, you're going to be doing 15 or 20-minute mini documentaries for people, for a reasonable cost. You get X amount of hours of video time. Or put your story together, do some interviews, and it'll be a nice little package, something to you to treasure for the rest of your life. Anyways, as well, I have a Bullfish equipment manufacturing. I have been so tired after all these years for there's two reasons why I started the company. One was I've always been tired of people putting together equipment that it seems to be like it's almost good, but it's not quite there. And I kind of wondering, why is it you don't understand this? Why don't you understand that this pulley needs to be here, or that you need an adjustment here? It's because, for the biggest part, engineers are putting this stuff together, not people with extensive training in their background, and they don't know those finer things that make a big difference. Where things line up, where the axis of rotation is. These are all very important things. They've really gone over the edge as far as making them look space age and pretty, but they've taken out a lot of the functionality. And that goes for a couple of big names in the industry too that used to make top-of-the-line equipment, and they've fallen by the wayside, in my opinion. Also, the fact is, with the pandemic, I mean, it's basically wiped out a lot of equipment anywhere. You can't get it. So I said enough of that. And I'm putting together my own private training facility here. It is going to be both a training facility and a demo facility for our equipment. The equipment is definitely still going to be very nice to look at, but it's going to be super functional. Going to get away from all the space age look to just very good, sturdy and stable, and move nice, good movement, good mechanics, and at a reasonable price. So if you want to be show some interest in that, we'll be putting together an online catalog pretty soon. It'll probably find a link to that from my web page for Bullfish Training. They're all going to be tied in together. I'll talk about my website later on at the end of this broadcast. So that's it. Other than the fact, like I said, we are now in production here of equipment, and all goes well, we'll have this facility open up for the 1st of January, and we'll be training people, whether you're just, a beginner and you just want to start, lose some weight, gain a little weight, whether you want to get ready for a show. I have 43 years of experience behind me. That's getting ready for shows. I've won shows. I know nutrition in and out, and all that is going to be all part and parcel of the programs that we offer here. Okay, let's get on with the actual subject at hand. And that subject at hand is simply this. I've been watching how people, how they address their training, and it's nothing new. I mean, all these years that I've been in this industry, there's some people, you have to know it. You probably do it in your own family or friends or circles. You hear people that, like what they do when they go to the gym, they look forward to it, or it's their fitness activity, whatever it may be. Some people are runners and some people, but what I notice is there's far more people that look at it like it's a job, and it's something they don't really want to do but think they have to do. And so, when you look at it from that point of view, it's not something that's going to grow on you, and it's basically derived from the idea that the people, to some degree, are afraid of hard work, because it is hard work. But there's a difference between hard work without reward and hard work with reward. The problem is many people don't reach that reward because they don't attack it properly. It's like anything else. We get into this lackadaisic approach to life, it becomes a bad habit. So in order to counteract that, you have to develop good habits, and good habits take time, okay? Very rare is it the individual that sees something once and says, I'm going to do that. Okay? I happen to be one of those people. At 6 years old, I knew I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I did, at 6 years old. I talked before, back then we used to have comic books. We didn't have online. And I sent away for every advertisement that Joe Weider ever did, that Charles Atlas ever did, and there was another one by Universal. I wanted all their programs. I was 6 years old, and I saw a picture of Charles Atlas. You didn't really see a picture of Joe Weider, but I saw a picture of Harold Poole. Harold Poole, I've also mentioned this in the past, he was the first person to do what they call a crab. The crab is now known today as the most muscular, and it totally freaked people out, and I do believe that actually happened in New York City. Guys like him, Leroy Colbert, Chuck Sipes, John Grimmick, these are people 99% of you have never even heard of, but these were the pioneers of modern day bodybuilding before Arnold ever even showed up. Okay, before Arnold. People seem to think that this sport didn't exist before Arnold, but it did. How do you think Arnold got inspired? Because he saw a lot of these old timers. He'll tell you that himself, okay? He just happened to take it up at the next level, okay? So the thing is, not too many people, or, that applies to many different sports. How many people do you know, when they're 2-3 years old, or, know they're going to be a professional hockey player or a professional basketball player? Some of them start early, but most of them, it's not ingrained in them. It's not that passion is not developed yet, but it can happen over time. And how does that happen? By basically repetition. doing something, and if you look at it in steps, and that's the problem. People do not see the steps. They see themselves where they are, and they see this mountain in front of them. And that's the deterrent, because in the back of their mind, whether they've admitted it or not, they don't think they're ever going to be able to climb that mountain. And how can you get enthusiastic about something if you feel like you've been defeated already? So it's a mind game. I talk about this in my up-and-coming book. And I have, there's some cornerstones to fitness and training and bodybuilding in particular. And the psychological aspect is the biggest aspect. It's above training, it's above nutrition, it's above rest and recuperation. It is the pinnacle, okay? So you need to develop this mindset. And that mindset is going to allow you to accomplish your goals. And for every goal that you begin to accomplish, that drives you to your next goal and your next. Example, if someone's 150 pounds overweight, and they go to the gym, first of all, you got to understand, chances are that person, whether, it could have been you, you walk in the gym and you're 150 pounds over, you have to be self-conscious. You're already fighting a fight, you're self-conscious. What is that going to do to you? It's going to basically restrict you, with training hard, you're going to think, you're just going to wallow around without, any real direction. Hence the idea that, if you can find a good trainer, not these dippies you see here all over YouTube and Facebook and you name it, that have no talent, no background at all. They have a certificate, maybe, from the internet that says, I'm going to finish my line of thought here, and I have to bring something up here in regards to that. Anyways, you need someone to at least get you started. And what that's going to do is two things. It's going to instill in you the idea that you're doing it right. And once you have the idea that you're doing it right, there's a far better chance that you're going to be able to accomplish that next goal. Okay? I'm just going to take a sidestep here for a second. A gentleman made a post, I believe, it was on Facebook. Honest to God, this is what he said. I looked at him. He looked like, at best, a dad bod. And he was in his, I would venture a guess, 50s. And literally he said, I just got my certification. I'm now a professional trainer. Honestly, this is the biggest thing, and one of the things I brought up in countless broadcasts now. What a bunch of bullshit that is. Okay? Having a certificate from the internet doesn't make you a professional anything. Okay? Being a pro, like being a professional in any business, takes time. It takes going through a set of processes. You don't do it in a matter of hours, a matter of weeks, a matter of months, and not even in a year or two. Sorry, it doesn't happen. These people are totally unprepared to help people, but they're fully prepared to take your money. They're watering down the pool of people with credentials, and credentials means this. It's not a piece of paper. It's not even a bicep. It's up here. It's knowing. And also people that walk the walk and talk the talk. Okay? So disregard every one of those individuals. I see 21-year-olds and 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds. I want to be your trainer. I mean, I see these posts all the time and thinking, you got to be kidding me. You're barely done breastfeeding and you think you're somebody's trainer now. So pardon the language, but that's how bad it is. Anyways, so let's get moving on, okay? So let's say you've done the right thing now. You found a good trainer, whether it be online or in person, preferably in person for this step. It'd be nice if you had somebody physically, and I don't mean you go into any of the big box gyms, all you're going to do is get some kid that's trying to fill in their time. Some are enthusiastic, some aren't. And 99% of them don't know how to do half the exercises correct themselves. So you need to you are better off to do some homework, find some good books, find something, rather than go to somebody who thinks they're a training professional. I honestly say that you're better off to do some homework, as much as you may feel like you're not prepared and you don't know, what to look for. You will do at least as well, if not better, and it won't cost you money. Okay? That aside, if you find that good trainer, okay? So now that person, what is that person's job? That person's job is to help to create that frame of mind for you so that this does not become your prison. It becomes your passion. How do they do that? They do that by shedding some light on the mysteries of training, the mysteries of diet. To me, diet is very straightforward, but I can tell you now from being online, this length of time, there's many people that are so misguided when it comes to nutrition. Stuff that I would consider common sense is lost on them. And that's not to be insulting at all. It's just, I guess, it's been such a passion for me. I've studied nutrition ever since I started training. And for some people, it's lost on them. They're, as well, don't forget, we're now tied into the new generation where anything can be accomplished with a supplement or a syringe or something. There's the problem, right? Because people don't have to learn the actual mechanics of getting there, so they, decided there's got to be a magic pill or a magic potion. I mean, weight loss companies, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, you name it all. They've been, and Herbalife, they've been pushing shit on people for years. And ladies, I hate to say it, but excuse me, most of it is directed towards you. They've decided that you're gullible. They're insulting your intelligence. Don't buy it. Newsflash. It takes work. It takes dedication, but all those elements can become part of a good, healthy lifestyle that you actually look forward to. Why does that passion become a prison for some people right off the bat? Because you also get tied into the overtraining mindset. What do I mean by that? I can't tell you how many people I see in these come and go in these Facebook groups. They're brand new and they're out there training minimum 5, 6, 7 times a week. They're combining weight training and they're running this and folks, there's more to just training in order to accomplishing your goals. And if you don't pay attention to that, 2 things happen. You become overtrained, you become stale, you quit. At the very least, it becomes an absolute drudgery in your life, if that's a word. Drudgery, I'm not too sure. I think it is. Anyways, something that you despise, and you are not going to stick with that for the rest of your life. And that's my goal as a trainer. I want people to do this for the rest of their life because they love to do it. Why do they love to do it? Because it makes them feel the way they want to feel. It makes them look the way they want to look. It makes them able to, participate in life the way they want to. That means, being able to go out and play some other type of physical activity or play with their grandkids or whatever the case might be. Don't become 70 years old when you're 45. And the idea behind that is you need to take it in steps. If you don't take it in steps, you're going to fail. That's where it becomes the prison. Stay out of prison. Stay out of jail. Collect your $200, go past go, do it a step at a time. So what is the answer there? The answer is start with some guidance and then create your first goal. If you need to, when you're making that goal, let's talk, the biggest thing for most people is not to become a professional bodybuilder. 90% of what I see is people just want to get in better shape or drop some weight, and most of them people are overweight. That's the biggest thing. I can tell you, 2 things that crop up all the time. How do I get a better waistline and how do I drop weight overall? Those are the 2 biggest things, okay? So let's look at that. Don't get tied into the scale, okay? You should get tied in to the mirror. It's not being narcissistic. You need to be able to look at yourself because you're the one that has to look at yourself and like yourself. I don't mean be staring at yourself in the mirror all the time. I mean every so often, and preferably on a schedule. On a schedule, I do mean that. The more you can actually get into routines and schedules, the better it's going to be, and your body's going to respond better because it says, oh, I do this at this time, and I do this at that time. Your body is made to work on a schedule, and that's the problem. People just leave it kind of like everything is an afterthought. If it starts off as an afterthought, it becomes a no thought later on. I guarantee you, okay? So what do? You use the mirror, not the scale. Scale means nothing. You go out, someone hasn't seen you for 2 months and you go out to a party and they're there How many of them are going to come up to you and say, how many pounds, what do you weigh? They're not going to say, what do you weigh? They're going to say, hey, you've been working out, or hey, have you lost weight? That's what they're going to say. And you don't need a number to tell them that. They can see it. How your clothes, how you look in your clothes. I can tell you, you will walk and talk differently the happier you are with yourself. It has nothing to do with being narcissistic, okay? It has everything to do with being happy. It's not about false pride either. I'm a Christian. I don't believe in false pride. I don't believe in pride. There's no place for proudness, okay? There's two types of proudness. There's the righteous kind and the non-righteous kind, okay? You know, be proud, internally of yourself for doing the hard work. You know, I thank the good Lord for getting me there. I can tell you, He's been there throughout my whole life, but I've really noticed it. I mean, really become super aware in the last 10 years or so, okay? The whole idea is take pride in what you do. Like anything, I don't care if it's your job, or if it's in something you build, or if it's your body. Take pride in what you do. If you take pride in what you do, you will give it 110% effort. That's the reality. If you take no pride in it, A, you're going to hate doing it. B, you really won't. If you don't care about the end result, that's the type of end result you're going to get. Okay? So, that next step, what is it? It's to create a logical first goal. So, if you're looking at yourself in the mirror, don't say, I see people do it all the time. I need to lose 40 pounds. How do you know you need to lose 40 pounds? How do you know? You don't. Nobody does. I don't even care if you've gone in and done every type of body fat measurement in the world. It doesn't tell you how you look. It takes into account subcutaneous fat, intermuscular fat, intramuscular fat, things that you wouldn't even consider, but they all have an effect on how you look, how your clothes feel, how fast you can run, how athletic you are all around, how well you can handle chores around the house, or even keep up with the kids. That's what it does, okay? So, you need to decide on a reasonable goal and a logical goal, and something that is measurable. Measurable not in numbers, measurable visually, or measurable maybe in gains in strength in the gym. Because if you train properly, and you will get stronger. And most of the time, if you do everything right, along with strength will come some size gains. Men and women will be totally different. Of course, I'm talking about natural people. I'm not even having a conversation with you if you're on drugs. Okay? You don't exist. I don't deal with people with drugs. You've taken the bad road in the first place. I feel sorry for you. I don't hate you. I feel sorry for you. It's a bad choice. It's going to end in a bad way. And I wish you would think about it. That's all I'm going to say that. So I'm talking to the natural people. So if you're a female, you don't have to worry about putting on 25 pounds of muscle. I guarantee you that most young men are not putting on 25 pounds of muscle. You know, that's the other problem here, disappointment. I actually heard, this is not a word of a lie, I heard somebody who's well known on the internet, on YouTube especially, as being a trainer, a professional, he makes a point of always saying that, talking about newbie gains. Honest to God, this is what came out of his mouth. As a newbie, is it possible to do, to gain, 20 or, you'll probably in your first year gain 20, 25 pounds. Next year, you'll probably gain 15 to 20. The third year, you'll probably gain 10 to 12, and, and then it goes down, to maybe a few pounds annually. I just did that math, okay? That man just said that any person or a person who, even if they do everything right, I'm talking natural, in 3 years can put on 50 or 60 pounds of muscle. What a bunch of bullshit. That's not going to happen. Because if you had any idea what 50 or 60 pounds of actual lean muscle looks like, that's astronomical. That's a lifelong goal. Think about it in these terms. If you're a teenage boy or an 18-year-old boy, and let's say for argument's sake, you're 5'10" and you're 170 pounds. Can you honestly, and let's say you're fairly lean, you're not fat, you're a little above average, whatever. Can you think you're going to actually, in a matter of a few years, be 230 pounds? That's what his math just said. So that's an unrealistic goal, which also leads to problems. It's like, defeat. Defeat means prison. It doesn't mean passion. You need to keep fueling the passion. You do that by smaller goals, by incremental goals, logical goals. And sometimes it's good to create cycles, meaning it's like anything else. Life does not go like this. It's not linear, because if it was, there'd be no end to it, okay? It's a series of this, okay? And what you want to do is you want to minimize the downturns, maximize the upturns, okay? As well, you want to realize that you can't always be keeping moving forward. And that's okay. You know what you do? Then you create a different goal. You don't always, you can't always be gaining, 5 or 10 pounds on movements, month to month, month to month. So what do? These are called plateaus. So what do? You create a different, coming at it from a different angle. Okay, well now instead of trying to get more reps in, not trying to gain more weight, I'll do some more reps. I'll change my rep scheme. I'll go from, aiming for 6 to aiming for 10. Or I'll try to aim for that 6, but now instead of doing it with, maybe I'm resting about a minute, I'm going to try resting 45 seconds or 30 seconds. I'm going to try and build up the intensity, the speed there. So what are you doing? You're creating a better cardio workout at the same time. So that's what I mean. These are fresh ideas you're interjecting into your training over a period of time. That's going to create passion. Passion is built on the idea of logical, attainable goals. Prison is something that, it's just, why would you want to do it? It's something you're saying to yourself, I'm never going to attain this. Why am I going? Look at so-and-so and then look at me. I can tell you right now that 99% of the people who are using drugs in sport, they live in prison. Why do they live in prison? Because they know in their heart, in the back of their mind, you can't get away from it, that they did not attain that goal. They didn't. They can try and tell everybody, oh, you think I just take some drugs and it just happens miraculous? No, my friend. But I can tell you, after many years in this business I've been in, it doesn't take a whole lot of effort to get some good gains, okay? It does not. So, if you're not on drugs, all of a sudden you're in control. You are in control of your destiny. You're in control of whether you succeed or not. And every time you have a success, you can say to yourself, man, you did that. And what does that do? That creates more passion, more drive, more. And you want to keep doing it. Create a passion in your life. Don't create a prison. Don't create something that takes you away from your family life altogether. You don't need to be training 7 days a week. You don't need to be training twice a day and, having 4 or 5 different types of, intense training activities in order to attain a goal. 75% of your people, I guarantee you, are in the overtraining category. Step it back a bit. Think it through. And if you can't come up with that answer, find a proper trainer. Because I can tell you, most of the trainers out there are taking you down the wrong avenue. They don't know what they're doing. They're having you do too much. And they're not even zeroing in on elements that will actually help you achieve your goal. Example, why would you go to somebody who only knows how to train people with balls and rubber bands if you want to be a physique competitor? They know nothing about that. They're going to look like somebody who trains with bands and rubber bands and balls and kettlebells. That's not how you do it, sorry. And you don't do it with calisthenics either. These are all elements to create a good fit body, but remember what it is that you're trying to attain. If you don't have a clear goal, how can you succeed? You can't succeed at a goal you don't know exists. Anyways, that's it for tonight. I'm going to wrap that up at that. So, once again, everybody, this is the way it is naturally. I want you to show up, do yourself a favor and tune in. Anybody that wants to be part of the show, you're more than welcome. Contact me either through Facebook, contact me through my website, contact me through YouTube. Either way, drop some comments. You can come on the show. You can debate subjects or bring up subject matter that you want to talk about. If you have a success story, we do our Spotlight show. I want to hear from some people. There's got to be literally thousands of people out there have success stories. Don't be shy. Come on and tell your story. Feel happy about yourself, what you've done. As well, inspire others to do the same thing. Okay? So you can get a hold of me, and you can also go to my website, bull-fiercetraining.com. I have, 4 decades plus of training expertise. I'm a multi-title bodybuilder owner. I have a strong background in nutrition. I have a degree in lab medicine. I have tons of show experience, and I offer many different programs for people, always individualized, always to attain your goal, and nothing is cookie cutter from me whatsoever. Okay? You get what you pay for in this industry. Okay? So contact me either through my website, YouTube. Just look at YouTube, look up Bull Fierce Training. You'll be able to find me. As well, what else? As I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, this facility should be opening up at the beginning of January. We're starting equipment manufacturing. The catalog will be available soon. If there's something you need, we're going to actually be doing, put our stuff up for sale sooner rather than later. And we'll even do some custom stuff. So if there's something in particular that you want made, or you have an idea or something you want different, contact us. Okay, you can always get a hold of me at all those places I mentioned. Okay, once again, my name is Perry Larrabee. This is the way it is naturally. I am the CEO of Bull Fierce Training, and I'm here to help you. If you're a natural athlete, I am here to help you. I'm here to help everyone, but my expertise is with people who are natural athletes. And whether you're 17 or 60, I've done it all. I'm 60 years old myself. I know what it's like to train at 60, at 50, 40, 30. As a teen, I know all that. I've been through it, and I haven't ever dropped it. I haven't ever gone away. You're not going to find anybody with more experience than I have. Okay? There are some good trainers out there. I happen to be one of them, and there's several others. Make sure if you're a natural person, don't go to somebody on drugs to get your training. Go to somebody who is natural themselves. They know what you're up against. Okay? Anyways, that's all I'm going to say for tonight. God bless you. I don't even want to sign off here. I know this is not supposed to be politics, but this is from my American friends. I'm obviously not going to make a lot of friendship people with Democratic individuals, but I have to tell you, if you at all believe in truth and honesty, you should be, as a Democrat, you should be disgusted with what is going on here right now. The Democratic Party is nothing short of doing criminal acts right now. Criminal acts. You can never shake your finger at all these dictatorships in these other countries that pull off crap like this all the time, because it's happening right in your country right now. And it's up to you to raise a fuss and say, yeah, you know what? We want to win, but we want to win the right way. It's like everything else in life. It's not about winning at all expense when the expense comes down to being untrue, untruthful, lies, deception. I don't care what you think of Donald Trump as a person. All you have to understand is his party stands for something, and they stand for a lot more truthfulness than the Democrats have ever stood for. Okay? They brainwashed a whole bunch of you people to think that you're getting something better, but you're going to be very sorry if they manage, because they've lost this election. There's no two ways about it. They lost it. I'm a Canadian, I'm looking in, they've lost it. They're cheating to even keep it alive at this point. Don't let them do it. If you're ever going to win, be able to look at yourself in the mirror and not be disgusted with yourself, don't accept that end result. And to the Republicans, my heart goes out to you. God bless all of you. God bless America. God bless everybody. Take care. Remember, we're all held accountable in the end. Judgment Day comes for all of us. Train hard, train Bull Fierce. Bye for now.